all of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more. Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
Everything's always about the dream. Always about the dream. I was 20 years old. I'd already done 6 years in corporate America. And a guy stopped me in the locker room and asked me, do I know anyone who'd like to make an extra $1,500 a month? He didn't talk about getting rich. He didn't talk about getting wealthy. He didn't even talk about freedom. So you don't have to oversell this thing. You know, the average person would love to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. So we're talking about putting millions of people in carry bars. Now we're talking about 20, 30, 40 million people in carry bars. We're not talking about everybody become a multi-billionaire. You can, if you want to pay that price. I hear people tell us, I want to be a billionaire. Well, okay, no problem. I want to be a multi-millionaire. Well, you can, okay, but it's going to require you cutting off the television. It's going to require you missing some football games, some basketball games. It's going to require some sacrifice on the part that only you know if you're willing to make. So I like keeping it simple. That guy asked me, do I know anybody like to make an extra $1,500 a month? I said, yes, me. I didn't know what he was talking about, and I got excited. I got a little bit excited. I got a twinge of hope. There I was 6 years in corporate America. I mean, I'm 20 years old, had my own home, 4 cars in the driveway, pool in the backyard. My wife was a flight attendant, so I could fly anywhere in the world pretty much for free or for peanuts. Okay, I had all the cars I wanted to drive, didn't buy insurance, didn't put gas in them. The company fed me 5, 6 nights a week. I'm living on a company expense report. I mean, I live a lifestyle people dream about. Wore my shirt and tie to work, my briefcase. I look good, status good, but as far as I was concerned, I was still broke. Not broke compared to my next door neighbor. Not broke compared to the guys in my neighborhood. Just broke compared to people who had some real money. That makes sense. Just broke, like one of my nephews one day asked me, Uncle Tyrone, people in the family say you're rich. I said, well, compared to you, I'm rich. You don't have any money. But compared to Oprah, Uncle Tyrone broke. Okay, so it's a relative term. Money is relative. And money is not to do all to say all. Okay, because when you have some serious health issues going on that money can't solve, you realize how unimportant money is. But I tell you what, I got started. And I'll never forget that first meeting I was sitting there, Mr. Williams, Miss Abram. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting at first meeting on about 200 people in that room. Maybe 180, 200 people. And that guy was talking about homes and cars. He was talking about all these material things you can have. And I'm sitting saying, man, I got 4 cars in the driveway now. I got 2 Lincolns in the driveway, a Ford Mustang and a Grand Marquis. 2 company cars and 2 I own. I was just sitting there, didn't mean anything to me. But all of a sudden he started talking about something that meant something. He said, have you ever thought about being free? Now, as far as I was concerned, I thought I was free. I mean, he talking about the height of ignorance. I thought I was free. He said, ever thought? No, I mean really free. I said, man, I'm free right now. He said, I know that some of you sitting there thinking you're free. He said, if you think you're free, don't show up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and by Thursday, you'll be free. And when he said that, it hit me. I was not free. He said, freedom is when you throw away the alarm clock and you sleep to the crack of noon. Freedom is when you wake up in the morning and do what you want to do with your life. Freedom is when you go to that golf course on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and play golf when everybody else is at the office. Freedom is when you go fishing on Tuesday, Wednesday. Freedom is when you stroll in the movies with your kid on a Wednesday afternoon and there's nobody in the movie theater but you and your child because everybody else is at work. Freedom is when all the fathers at work and you're the only father at the Little League baseball game with your kid or your grandkids. Man, he started painting that picture for freedom, guys. And I never forget, I sit up in my chair. I said, wait a minute, what's this freedom thing you're talking about? Okay. and it blew my mind. He asked a simple question: what's retirement age? Everybody started yelling out numbers: 65, 75. Said, see how we've been conditioned? Retirement doesn't have anything to do with age. Retirement has everything in the world to do with money. This couple speaking from the stage were 32 years old. He and his wife were both retired. Two brand new Cadillacs in their driveway, owned their brand new home, and they were both retired at 32 years old. I said, oh my God, I got to get this freedom thing. Okay. And I didn't know. I know how long it's going to take me to get free. Some of you right now today, you don't know how long it's going to take you to get free. You want to be free, I know you can taste it. I see Dante Taylor, he can taste it, man. He can taste it. I can hear it in his voice. He can take that people want, he can taste this freedom thing. They want it, but you willing to pay the price to get it. When I saw it, I was willing to pay the price. Man, I was before then. I knew every television program that came out. I was a walking TV guide. You could call me and say, "What time this show come on, Tyrone?" I didn't have to put out the news, but I could tell you what time it came out. I was a walking TV guide. Okay, I spent the weekend watching football like everybody else. But when I saw freedom, when I saw that freedom thing, when I was sold that dream of freedom, man, I shut it all down. I said, I'm going to freedom. And at 32 years old, I was able to. My wife and she was able to walk away from a job she'd been on for 8 years as a flight attendant for U.S. Air. And she walked, yes, we gave up the flying privileges. Yes, we gave the benefits. Yes, we gave up the stock options, gave it all up. Okay, why? So I had a kid and he didn't even know his mama. He'd come home and she'd go to reach for him and he'd run because she's flying and she didn't know him and he didn't know her. Okay, it was breaking her heart. I said, quit. She walked away at 32 years old. My son don't even remember. He's 32 right now. He don't ever remember his mother having a job. It took me 8 more years. I didn't retire till I was 40 years old. Until I do it all over again, it took me 20. To walk into a job you've had for 10 years, 18 years in corporate America and say, I'm out, and never look back. That was July 14th. July 14th. That's tomorrow. That'll be 22 years. Freedom. What it's all about.
Freedom indeed is what it's all about. Ready for Revolution, family? I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad, also known as the Wealth Minister. Today, as promised on our Financial Freedom Friday, we're going to bring to you an extraordinary endeavor that allows you to build towards legacy wealth. This is our Financial Freedom Friday. We have themed days in the week by which we operate in the Believers Huddle dynamic in the platform. And I'm encouraging you all to pay good attention to what's here, because we only share from this platform when we present ourselves. We only share those things that have proven to provide multiple sources of income and proven it in a way of vetting, right? There's 3 things that my teacher, Dr. Tyrone Best, taught us how to validate a company or an enterprise. 1, it has to be heavily capitalized. 2, it has to be innovative enough to stop on the dime and pivot. And 3rd, it must pay on time. All 3 of those things must be in place to validate the viability of a company or an entity. However, if paying on time is violated, that's when it's dead in the water. So along with that process, as we've grown through trial and error, as we've grown through ebbs and flows, ups and downs, right? We've learned through our personal evaluated experiences to develop another layer of due diligence. Due diligence to me, folks, to me, is removal of all doubt. And when the doubt cannot be removed, you just do without it. You just do without it. So here, we're not in the convincing business. That's not our goal here. Our goal here is to share with you an extraordinary opportunity to be co-owner. As it says at the bottom of your screen, stop being just a user, become an owner. This is not a cryptocurrency pitch. All right, this is not about coins. You know, this is about shares in a community. I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of actually what that looks like. I'm going to take myself off the screen and then I'll come.
What if you could own a real piece of a global digital bank? That is exactly what BANC token represents. BANC is a real-world asset token, or RWA. It is not a speculative cryptocurrency. It is the tokenization of 100% of Bancus, a global digital bank operating in more than 186 countries. Through blockchain technology, Bancus divided 100% of the company into 300 million bank tokens. Each token represents real fractional ownership of the ecosystem. Tokenized real-world assets provide global access, transparency, liquidity, and fractional ownership. They represent the evolution of traditional investing into the digital economy. Behind BANC stands a real and growing business. Bancus has more than 116,000 registered users, a current valuation of $75 million, and active products including debit and credit cards, global digital accounts, crypto trading, and an RWA marketplace. All supported by physical offices across international markets. The token runs on Binance Smart Chain and combines ownership, utility, and future governance. In addition, holders gain access to exclusive ecosystem benefits and staking rewards of 1.25% per month. Real-world asset tokenization already exceeds $35 billion on chain and is projected to reach $16 trillion by 2030. Major institutions like BlackRock, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs are already driving this transformation. Because BANC is not just a token, it is real participation in the evolution of finance. Bancus, the bank of us.
All right, that's in a nutshell what we have. Let me move forward with our presentation. You're welcome to take screenshots, and let me just lay out, give you a lay of the land. We're also broadcasting live over our YouTube channel, the Wealth Minister YouTube channel, and that broadcast will end at conclusion of presentation. So those of you who have questions, want to see some of the back office, which I'll be sharing, that'll be on this platform solely. Okay, so that's part of that lay of land. All right, there are people that have invited you here to this dynamic, and when you find yourselves interested in taking advantage of it, then we encourage you to get back to that one that invited you and allow them to help you get started. All right. So moving forward, I also want to make this announcement that tomorrow, Saturday, we do an onboarding here on this very same platform, Bank Token Onboard Training. That's going to happen tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern in the United States time zone on this platform. So you might want to take a screenshot and understand it and share it out, or remind yourselves to come back tomorrow for a how to get started session. We're talking about how to register, set up wallets, buy bank tokens, how to stake. All right. Those are the primary items that we will go over in that training. Now, let's take a look at what we have with the bank token. Okay, the bank token represents the RWA of bankers. RWA stands for, folks, real world asset, meaning it's the tokenization of 100% of a global digital bank. We're talking about real asset, we're talking about usability, and we're talking about the banker's ecosystem, a real fraction of a global financial infrastructure. And I want to emphasize real asset, real value, and real future. Now, in the past, the problem of private investment, the best assets were primarily reserved only for a few. For decades, participation in the growth of a private company required high capital, access to specialized funds, private investment networks, complex processes, and limited geographic reach, low liquidity. Now, Tokenization, the art and science of tokenization, the technology that's involved with tokenization has changed that reality. You see, real assets can be divided into millions of digital fractions, verifiable and transferable via blockchain. Okay, this enables greater accessibility, on-chain transparency, global liquidity. We're talking about 24 hours, 7 days a week, participation from anywhere in the world, and programmable infrastructure. See, what happens, tokenization democratizes value, access rather, to value. It makes it free for all to attain. Okay? Private company, tokenization, global access. Now, what is BANC? BANC is the tokenization of 100% of bankers. This means, folks, out of that one bank equals 1/300 millionth of a token ownership. It does not represent a narrative. It does not represent a promise. It represents an operating company with users, products, infrastructure, and global expansion. Each token connects its holders with the growth and development of the banker's ecosystem through a blockchain-based structure, a global financial infrastructure represented on the blockchain. So, the short of it, 100% of bankers equates 300 million tokens available to all and economic participation. Each token represents a proportional fraction of the ecosystem. Now, the asset behind the banker's token is what you might want to hone in on. Global digital bank in expansion. We're in more than 186 countries at present. We have more than 115,000 registered users, 186 countries of presence, and a $75 million USD current valuation, according to the light paper that you can find on our website, and we'll give you that as well. Someone be so kind as type into the chat, banktoken.io. That's BANCTOKEN.io. And we'll revisit that again in shortly. So what happens here? We have several products that are no longer in development, they're moving. We have paid by bankers, we have leverage by bankers, we have Selex by bankers, Mint, we have Mint Marketplace, we have wallet trading cards, and a real world asset infrastructure. Now, hone in on infrastructure, folks, because infrastructure creates value, and the token represents that value creation. How does the token capture value? It's through user growth, it's through geographic expansion, it's through the use of products, new lines of business, and real world asset infrastructure. Value does not come from speculation. And if you visit the website and look at the light paper, you'll see the roadmap and you see all the activity. The token captures real value generated by the sustainable growth of the banker's infrastructure and ecosystem. The more users, the more geographic expansion, the use of products, new line of business, the RWA infrastructure, that's more activity, more revenue, greater potential valuation. Now, let me share some dynamics with you in terms of our asset structure. Remember, keep in mind, the whole pie equals 300 million slices. The current price in the back office is showing at 20 cents USD. A valuation just occurred. The valuation on the website is now 21 cents, folks. Now it's coming from a space. In 2024, when it launched at 10 cents per token. Then we saw a growth at 13 cents. Then it moved to 15 cents. And today it's now 21 cents. And this here in the early part of June 2026, the valuation was 20 cents. It has not changed in the back office yet. So there's things that you can take advantage of now. Okay? Because being early is creating scalability for yourselves. So the blockchain network that our bank token is on is the Binance Smart Chain or BNB Smart Chain. It's a real world asset plus utility because it's the company and it's all of its operating factors. In circulation of the token, there's 10.8% circulating, and the token structure, bank is designed as a utility token backed by real world assets and bankers' financial infrastructure. So you're talking about fixed supply, scalable blockchain infrastructure, utility with the banker's ecosystem, integration with products and financial services, and focus on adoption and sustainable growth. Folks, bank combines real world assets, utility, and financial infrastructure with the same digital architecture. Now, more than representation. This is utility within the ecosystem. Bank also incorporates utility within bankers' infrastructure. We're talking about staking. We're talking about access to premium benefits. We're talking about integration with ecosystem products. We're talking about participation in future functionalities and adoption incentives. There's a principle here that we embrace, folks. Value does not come solely from the underlying asset. It also comes from the utility generated within the ecosystem. So staking moves to benefits, moves to utility, and moves to adoption. Convergence between real-world assets and digital banking, these are two global trends. Real-world assets, or RWA, tokenization of real-world assets, along with digital banking, provides global financial infrastructure. The opportunity here is that the convergence of both sectors create a new category known as tokenized financial ecosystems. Tokenized financial ecosystems. Now, here's a little roadmap that builds the next phase of our growth. We're in 2026. We have user expansion. We have new jurisdictions with more than 186 countries. We have multi-chain wallet. We have a Mint marketplace. You'll learn about that. I might show us when we come off YouTube. I might show you some of those insights. IBAN accounts, new integrations. 2027 and beyond provides a roadmap of international expansion, real-world asset infrastructure for third parties, new financial products, and greater institutional adoption. Now, why does bank exist? And when we say bank, we're talking about the token. I know many of you have the banker's card. This is not the same thing. The banker's card is a part of the bank token. We're talking real-world asset, global scalability, utility, blockchain technology, financial infrastructure, and operating businesses. These are the 6 layers of value. In operating businesses, you're talking about a business model that generates revenue and sustainable value. In financial infrastructure, you're talking about core layers designed to move, store, and connect value. In blockchain technology, you're talking about transparency, efficiency, and global traceability. It's immutable. Whatever hits that blockchain, it is there as an open ledger for life. Utility, products designed to solve real-world needs. Global scalability, built to grow without borders. Without borders, folks, this is a totally decentralized space by which you can operate in. And when we show you more of it, by one, taking advantage of what you have, and then secondly, taking advantage of that which is to come. See, when you're early to a space, you're the early adopter. The real world assets, tangible backing that provides confidence and stability. Infrastructure creates value. Bank connects every one of its layers. Now, a fraction of the financial future you just witnessed with bank. The RWA of bankers, the real world asset of bankers, 300 million bank tokens represent a global financial infrastructure. Let me give you an idea of what that looks like. At the current published price of 20 cents, that means $1, and you can own 5 shares of this company. You're co-owner. That's perspective. All right. 115,000 plus users, 186 countries, $75 million of current valuation. We're talking about real infrastructure, real value, and real growth. Now, what makes this doable and meaningful for us? I am not just a member, I am the Bankers United States sales director. My role and function is company. My role and function here is to offer you direct access to a legacy wealth future. Not convincing, just letting you know when you embrace this presentation, you're embracing it from someone directly within the company. Bank, the real world asset of bankers, infrastructure creates value, token represents it. We want you to get back to the one who introduced this opportunity to you. We want you to stick around because when we sign off on YouTube, we'll be here on the Zoom platform. We'll show you a little bit, we'll answer some questions, but the main thing you want to do is make yourselves available for tomorrow's 3 p.m. onboarding so you can learn how to get started. Thank you for the time and attention, folks. Remember, you have the onboarding that's happening tomorrow, and here's the information for it. All right, we thank you for your time and attention. YouTubers, it's been a wonderful